As we lead up to Rare Disease Day 2026 on the 28th of February, we continue our bonus podcast series sharing personal stories from across the rare disease community around the world. In today's episode, I, Julien Poulain, will be reading the story of Loago from Botswana. Loago was diagnosed with Gaucher disease as a teenager. His story is one of resilience, from interrupted education and difficult access to treatment to devastating personal loss and a renewed drive to succeed. Through every setback, Loago's spirit and determination shine through as he builds a brighter future while advocating for greater understanding and support for others living with rare conditions. I still remember the day I was diagnosed with Gaucher disease like it was yesterday. The doctor's words were a shock, like a cold splash of water in the face. But little did I know that this diagnosis would be just the beginning of a long and challenging journey. A journey that would test my strength, resilience, and determination to survive. In the days following my diagnosis, I was filled with uncertainty. I was scared of what this disease would mean for my life, my health, and my future. I struggled to cope with the idea of being different, of having a disease that few people understood. But as I began to learn more about Gaucher disease, I realized that I was not alone in my struggle. I discovered two fellow Gaucher disease survivors who were also fighting the disease. The road to managing my Gaucher disease was anything but smooth. In 2015, I had to drop out of the school due to severe symptoms and frequent checkups to Princess Marina Hospital at Gaborone. The strain of trying to balance my health and education was too much. My journey to obtain the medication I needed was not an easy one. For 2 years after diagnosis in 2015, I faced setback after setback, with the Botswana government unable to provide me with the necessary assistance. But it was during this time when my doctor introduced me to the chairperson and founder of the Botswana Organization for Rare Diseases. It was through her tireless efforts and relentless determination that I was finally able to receive the medication that I so desperately needed as a donation from another country. Over the years, I learned how to manage my symptoms and cope with the challenges of living with Gaucher disease. I started the treatment in 2017, and then in 2021, I was able to go back to school to continue where I left, as I was now better. In 2022, as I was about to write my Form 5 final exam, tragedy struck once again. My mother, who had been a pillar of strength throughout my journey, suffered a stroke and passed away. It was a devastating blow and one that threatened to derail all the progress I had made. But despite the grief and heartache, I knew that my mother would have wanted me to continue my education, and so I returned to school with renewed determination. I managed to pass my final exams, and I am proud to say that I am now in my second year at Botswana University, pursuing my dreams and building my future one day at a time. And while the road may still be long and uncertain, I'm grateful for every step I take and every moment I have. For each day is a gift, and I choose to live it to the fullest. And so as I continue on my journey, I do so with the knowledge that there will be ups and downs, more challenges and triumphs. But I'm no longer afraid of what lies ahead, for I know that whatever comes my way, I will face it with courage and determination. And if there is one thing I want to leave with you, it is this. Never underestimate the power of your own resilience and the strength of your spirit. For in the darkest of times, that is where your true light shines through.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of our Rare Disease Day Stories bonus podcast series. If you would like to get involved with the Rare Disease Day campaign, or indeed if you would like to share your story if you have been impacted by a rare disease, visit rarediseaseday.org bonus podcast series.